Hey guys, what is going on? Are you disappointed that the S7 Edge that you once loved is now stuck on Android 8? Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not. I have here in my hand an S7 Edge running OneUI 2.0 with Android 10. How did I do it? Well, this is a custom ROM that's basically a port from the S9 that somebody made for the S7 Edge. And today I'm going to show you if it's worth it. Let's begin. Alright, so here we have the S7 Edge running OneUI 2.0, and here is my Galaxy S20 Ultra, which is the latest from Samsung. So as you can see, both are running OneUI 2.0, well the S20 Ultra is running 2.1, and this is 2.0, which is, good enough for a 4-year-old Samsung device, come on. Alright, so the ROM that this phone is running is called Floyd ROM, and this is version 1. So this ROM came out recently, and this is basically a port from the Galaxy S9 or Note 9, I don't know, because it says over here in service provider N960F, which is the Note 9, so let's say S9. So this video is mostly to show you that this exists, first of all, and this is for the Exynos variant only, right? If you own a Snapdragon, then you can't flash this, unfortunately. And I want to tell you guys if it's worth it to actually buy this thing used and flash this ROM instead of buying a new Samsung with OneUI. And I'm just going to say right off the bat that no. This phone runs like a mid-range phone. The performance is similar to like an A50 or I'd say around A40 to A50. That's around how it feels like to use. I'm going to do a quick speed test. Settings. Play Store. Alright, so as you can see, it's not the fastest. It is pretty snappy, but for me at least, it does feel pretty slow compared to my S20 Ultra. Now, there are a few things that's missing from here. First of all, there's no face unlock, which I don't remember if the stock firmware has face unlock, but this doesn't. And something else that I noticed. For the always on display, there's no tap to show. So as you can see on my S20 Ultra, you have that tap to show. And I'm pretty sure this option existed on the S9 variant. I'm not entirely sure, but here I have it and here I don't. And that basically means if you want always on display, it's just gonna stay on. Some of you prefer that, some prefer to tap to save that battery life, because the always on display is a huge battery drainer, so that for most of the time the screen is off, and when I just wanna take a look, I just tap and that's pretty much it. Also, the Wi-Fi has been disconnecting randomly, and the only way to fix that problem is to turn Wi-Fi on and off. This only seemed to happen to me overnight. During the day, it hasn't really happened. So, I guess it's not that big of an issue. It doesn't happen often. The connectivity overall is great. Another issue is while it was restoring my WhatsApp images in the background while I was sleeping, the phone just froze. I wake up in the middle of the night, I check on the phone, and it's just frozen. The charging light is on, it's unresponsive, so I have to hard restart it, which was also pretty strange. So the ROM, it's not perfect, but you gotta remember, this is version 1. There's gonna be plenty of other updates in the future. But how is this phone to use overall in 2020? Regardless of what firmware it's running, I'm gonna say it's pretty good. It's nice to have a nice compact phone. The fingerprint sensor with the home button, is a popular design that everyone still loves to this day, and it works great. But it is starting to show its age, not just with the design of these two top and bottom bezels, it's also the performance. It's not the fastest, as I've shown you before, and the phone does overheat more than the newer phones do. I don't know if it's just the Exynos variant or the Snapdragon overheats less. This was 4 years ago when, phone chipsets weren't as they are now. Alright, this one is running the Exynos 8890, which is, it's a pretty decent chip. No one ever complained about it too much. So if you still own this phone and it's in good condition, alright, the battery's new, no scratches, no break, no screen shatters, then you're gonna, pretty much enjoy this if you're not used to the big flagships of 2020 like the S20 Ultra. If you come from this phone like I did, you are gonna notice the difference right away. Alright, these two phones are day and night. But what about the camera? How does the camera perform with this ROM? The camera, when this phone came out, it was phenomenal. Like, in my personal opinion, the camera was great, and it's still great to this day. At least the rear camera, like the front camera, is pretty crap, but the main camera was always pretty good. One feature this ROM does bring that wasn't on stock firmware is we can now record 4K 60 on the S7 Edge. And I don't know about you, but 4K 60 is my favorite way to record on my phone. It's just so smooth and it's crisp. It just, it's just so satisfying to record in that frame rate. And on top of that with 4K. My favorite phone to record 4K 60 on was 11 Pro Max. The video on there just looked amazing. Alright, so we're going to do a quick camera comparison between the S20 Ultra and S7 Edge. Looks kind of like wide angle, no? I think that's what the ROM is doing. It wasn't like that stock. 3, 2, 1. .4K 60 on the S7 Edge. Tapping on the screen, okay. 4K 60 on the S20 Ultra. So you guys be the judge on that. I think it's pretty close. All right. Sure, Samsung's doing 100 megapixels, bigger sensors, but the camera on the S7 Edge aged pretty damn well. Another feature this ROM brings is we now have dual speakers. Now the problem is that this phone was never intended to have dual speakers, so it does sound kind of bad. But me personally, I'll prefer it over the single speaker due to the fact that it does make a difference and the speaker quality overall is louder. It does sound kind of warped, like a tiny bit warped and distorted for some reason. Like, hopefully you can see what I mean. Alright, I guess you can hear it only when you watch a video of people talking, but I don't want to get copyrighted, I don't want to risk it, so I guess this is something you can only notice in real life. Like, it's kind of hard to show you for the video. When you flash the ROM, you have a bunch of options and what you want and what you don't want, so I will show you guys how to flash this ROM, but the problem is I don't really feel like, like this is the only S7 Edge that I have, and I don't feel like just removing everything and starting over. Like, I don't really feel like it, I'm gonna be honest. But if you want me to help you flash this ROM, you can reach out to me in the YouTube comments or the Discord, and I'll be more than happy to help. Alright, so is this phone worth it? Like, first of all, I'm gonna answer if you should buy this phone in 2020, and I'm gonna say no. Mostly because, Samsung offers a lot of options in 2020, like A51, A71, for around the same price as this phone. Well, I mean, sure, yeah, they're a bit more expensive, I guess, but I mean, it's worth it. I mean, it's a worthy price. The display is still nice and crisp, and the colors are amazing, but you can tell that the S20 Ultra display is miles ahead. Not just because of the size, because it has deeper blacks and deeper color and better color saturation. Well, I'm gonna try and show you what I mean. Don't get me wrong, these displays are very similar, but you can tell on the S20 Ultra that it's just an overall better quality display in terms of the display manufacturing thing, Not to mention the S20 Ultra has less glare. What about battery life? How is the battery life on the S7 Edge? Now, it was never really great to begin with, but the ROM certainly does help. I mean, it's still not amazing, and due to some technical difficulties, I wasn't able to measure screen on time exactly right. But what I can tell you is, if you're a heavy user, the battery will not last the whole day. Unless you can, if you're flashing a custom ROM, you might as well root in the process. I mean, there's no harm in that. And as you can see, I've done exactly that, and I have Magisk with my favorite battery saving module, LKT, Legendary Kernel Tweaks. I'm currently using Turbo because I am currently favoring performance over battery life. But if you don't trust these Magisk modules, you can always install a kernel manager from the Play Store and just, adjust those cores manually. Unless you know what you're doing, I wouldn't touch that. And I guess those are pretty much all my thoughts. The only time when I would recommend to flash this RAM is if you already have this phone, alright? Don't buy this phone especially just to flash this RAM, because that is a pretty stupid idea considering all the options that are out there. Not just Samsung, also Xiaomi, Realme, the options are endless. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Please don't hate on me and dislike this video just because I don't show how to flash this RAM. This isn't the kind of video where I'm gonna do that. If you want me to help you, I will. Just, reach out to me. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.